47 years ago, I find myself a summer typist at a small regional airline. And it suddenly hits me. I'm just not typing. I'm in love. Not with a colleague. I'm in love with aviation itself. Before I know it, I trade my typewriter for a flight attendant's uniform. And I am delighting in every passenger's smile, every luggage in that overhead compartment, and every mile flown above the clouds. Yet, I sense that I'm meant for more. Fast forward 6 years, I walk onto a Boeing 747, and I take my seat as the pilot behind the control panel. It is a pinch me moment, and it reinforces my love affair with the skies. And at first, it is a dream job. And as years go on, sure, there's a regular sleep, but I'm young and invincible. Eating on the go? Well, that's what fast food's for. Exercising? I walk to and from my gates. Relaxation? I watch hotel movies when I can't sleep. That checks the box. In 2015, I head into a personal medical exam, and my doctor says, Reyné, you have catastrophic high blood pressure. You're in imminent danger of a stroke. If that wasn't bad enough, I instantly remember my regulatory medical exam that is required for all pilots to fly and work. Mine, it's due next month. But here's the catch. If I self-report the findings of my medical doctor to my aviation medical examiner, I am grounded for an unknown amount of time. In other words, I lose my income. I'm scared. I'm alone. And I'm caught in a dilemma. Take care of my health, take care of my job. No one should have to make this choice. That's crazy. Taking care of ourselves is a basic human right. And I admit, I hadn't been. This turns into a wake-up call. It's time for me to prioritize my own health and mental well-being. My story is not unique. And unfortunately, I am far from alone in this experience. As pilots, we are meticulously trained in aircraft systems, navigation, emergency procedures. However, critical non-technical skills such as stress management, emotional resilience, and health managing strategies are often overlooked or soft-pedaled in training. Aviators around the world are struggling in silence with challenges related to their own physical and mental health. And it is imperative that we address this issue now. The omission of these vital aspects in aviation, they're just not an oversight. They are a perilous gap that needs immediate attention. What is missing in aviation safety is dangerous. I am one of 110,000 pilots in the U.S. operating in a complex aerospace system. This system requires us to meet strict medical standards in order to fly or work. Now, here's the paradox. If we self-report any new medical information or seek treatment, it forces us to weigh the potential aspect of being grounded against the need for care. And not all of us seek care. Do you remember in recent news where a non-duty pilot attempted to shut down the engines in flight? He hadn't slept for 40 hours. As a society, we often take for granted how these non-technical skills or the missing of these non-technical skills impacts our life. So why does it matter? And why should you care? All of our lives are important. So whether your seat is in the cockpit or in a couch, aviation safety impacts us all because as a global society, we travel in airplanes. Now, the U.S. Air Force has funded research on aviation healthcare avoidance, seeking to understand why pilots avoid medical care. The findings in this study of more than 3,700 pilots published in 2022 are staggering. 56% of pilots wrestle with healthcare avoidance in fear of losing their aeromedical certificate. 46% sought informal medical care. And 27% either misrepresented or withheld information on their medical questionnaire in fear of losing their aeromedical certificate. This has to stop. So what do we do? Archbishop Desmond Tutu wisely noted that there comes a time that we have to stop pulling people out of the river. We have to go upstream and figure out why they are falling in. There is good news. Amidst these challenges, dilemmas, and paradox lies a golden opportunity for change and innovation for today and tomorrow's aerospace system. And that is exactly what I have been working on. There are 8 core competencies in aviation that pilots need to abide by. However, there is a critical focus area that we are missing. Today, I'm going upstream and I'm introducing to you what I call the 9th core competency. It is a groundbreaking, innovative approach that puts the pilot and human performance in the center of safety. The 9th core competency is unique because it focuses on educating and equipping pilots with non-technical skills that impact and influence their performance on and off the airplane. In other words, pilots need to be trained on human performance just as much as we are trained in technical skills. For example, quality sleep is essential for pilots. It impacts our mental acuity, our decision-making, and our reaction time. Inadequate sleep disrupts our circadian rhythm, our hormonal balance, which has been linked to anxiety and a decrease in cognitive function. I know this firsthand. Ensuring quality sleep is a vital investment in a pilot's health and safety. Pilots often struggle with finding hot, wholesome food when they're on the go, which impacts their strength and endurance, as it did mine. Poor nutrition can also impact the demands of flying, compromising safety and performance. You see, it's important for pilots to seek healthier options for their overall well-being. And stress management is crucial for pilots, as chronic stress increases tension, fatigue, and burnout. I was there too. Stress also affects a pilot's health, physical health, and the ability to stay focused during those critical times. Prioritizing relaxation techniques and stress reduction is essential for overall safety. Now, we have a golden opportunity to revolutionize the aviation safety right here and right now by integrating the 9th Core Competency into training and elevating the non-technical skills to the same level of importance as technical skills. We can provide support to our pilots in high-performance roles. And getting the 9th Core Competency universally accepted is going to take some effort, and here's where you come in. Because what's next is on us. What's missing in aviation safety is dangerous. And the 9th Core Competency makes us safer. So whether you're in an aviation leadership role, a frequent flyer, or you just want your FedEx package delivered on time, we all have a stake in upholding safety. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Join me in keeping this conversation alive, because safety is everyone's responsibility. It is no longer acceptable to train pilots in technical skills only. Aviation must train the whole pilot by raising human performance through the 9th Core Competency. And when this happens, it's just not about safer flights and more secure for pilots. It's about making our skies the safest that they've ever been and getting you home without worry. We need that. Our industry craves it, and our flying public deserves it. And then, and only then, can we fall in love with aviation again. Thank you.